Hey y'all, welcome back to another back to school week video. The sun is really giving me some fits. It keeps coming and going and coming and going. I picked up this super cute dress at Target. It's just like a giant t-shirt dress basically, and it is insanely comfortable. It's a very in your face color, and I love this like orangey red for summer. That's not what we're here to talk about, but I just thought that I would mention it because it's just super comfortable. I don't know if they still have it. I don't know if they have other colors. I just wanted to mention it. If they do, I will link it down below for you. Today, we're going to be chatting about my middle school daughter's curriculum. She is going into the 7th grade. I can just hardly believe that I have a high schooler and a middle schooler this year, and then a bunch of elementary schoolers, preschoolers, and a baby, a giant baby, but he's still a baby. Okay? Just as a friendly reminder, every single day during back to school week, there is a giveaway. All the information for that giveaway is down below in the description box. These giveaways are just my way of saying thank you from me to you. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're here. And I'm just grateful for your support. So check out the giveaway. Everything will be linked as well, curriculum-wise, if you get tired of listening to me drone on, because I do tend to go on and on. So you can just click down to the bottom in the description box to find the curriculum if you don't want to listen to my long-windedness. I'm very verbose. That's what we'll say. That makes it sound like it's a good thing. I'm verbose. Lots of changes happening in our curriculum choices this year. Some of it is because my older daughter's going into high school. So my two oldest typically are very paired up for things. They do a lot of things together. They do a lot of similar curriculum at various levels and stuff. And just this year, by the nature of their changes in grade, they weren't able to do as much of that as they have in the past. And so in some ways, it's been a good thing because it opened the door for my 7th grade daughter to my upcoming 7th grade daughter to explore some things, to see what she might want to do, what interests her. I gave her some different choices of, I gave her some options and was like, would you rather do this or this? And so these are the things that she and I chose together for her curriculum this year. Gosh dang it, why do I keep forgetting to bring things out here? Ugh. We're going to be doing our Apologia Bible curriculum together, same as we have in years past. I've really enjoyed the Apologia Bible curriculum. It's just one of those that I feel like is very, I don't want to say it's open-ended, but it brings up lots of good questions and things that I'm able to engage my daughters with, concepts and ideas. And, I've always said this, I want to share my faith with my children. I hope and pray that they grow up to share the same faith I do, but I want them to own their faith. I want them to know why they believe what they believe, and I want them to feel confident in that. And so, oh no, my window opened and probably all my air conditioning is leaving. So I've just really enjoyed the Apologia Bible because it has opened up that conversation, and it's one of my favorite things about homeschooling is that time to just sit and talk things out and share ideas and debate whatever the topic may be. I've really enjoyed that. So Apologia Bible is once again happening this year. I'll insert a little thing here so you can see what it looks like. Then for math, she is going to be continuing on with teaching textbooks. That we have used that math for years and years. She at one point thought she might prefer a book math, so we did this past school year purchase her a math curriculum that's just book form. And I just don't feel like it worked as well. It's very helpful for kids to have the instructor reading the lessons to them and kind of explaining things through those lessons and the sample questions and the sample problems and stuff like that. I feel like that is really helpful. And then she wanted to do the Good and the Beautiful's handwriting. Again, like I told you guys, all of my kids enjoy it. At this point, I've told her she doesn't have to do a separate handwriting curriculum if she doesn't want to. I'm sort of like, you're doing lots of writing and other things that are practicing your handwriting. You don't have to do this, but she really likes it. So she wanted to do that. So we will also be doing the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. And then I did pick up, this was maybe accidental, but we're going to run with it. And we're going to see which one fits her learning style more. I'm not intending to have her fully do both of these curriculums, but I wanted to try Fix-It Grammar. We've never done this before. I've heard so many things about it. So many good things about it. I just don't know if it's going to work well for my kids. So I did order Fix-It Grammar for her. This is level 3. And again, much like Good and the Beautiful, it's not based on grade level. It's based on the IEW's like levels for things. So hopefully I got the right one. I think that I did. But I like the way this looks like it's laid out, and I'm hoping that that will work well for her. Like I've talked about before, my older daughters just didn't love the Good and the Beautiful's language arts. There's so much from the Good and Beautiful that we love, but language arts just wasn't necessarily their jam, the way that things were done. But I did also order these daily grams. This is from Easy Grammar Systems. These are daily grams, so it's 180 daily reviews for grade 7. So this is the teacher guide, guided review aiding mastery skills. This is the student workbook. It's pretty darn basic, but I do kind of like that it is literally just one sheet a day. So I may have her do both. We'll see how long her other stuff takes and how long our other stuff takes. We'll see. We'll alternate them a little bit and see how she kind of feels about it and which one's speaking to her as the one that she enjoys doing more. But that's going to be happening as well. Now, for part of her literature, part of how I'm building her literature is that she's going to be doing these with my high school daughter and I. We are going to be doing 1 book a quarter, so 4 books a year for these book studies, literature studies that we are going to be doing. I haven't 100% decided on all 4 of the books because I kind of want to see how these first couple ones shake out. Most of the literature units that go along with these that I have found recommend them a lot for high school age. However, my 7th grade daughter reads books that are far above her grade level, and she again is just an insatiable reader. In fact, I was just talking to my girls the other day about like, how many books have you read so far this year? And they're both between like 25 and 30 books this year. And they're not just reading like little books like this. The books that they're reading are like these giant, thick books that would intimidate me to pick up and read because of how many pages they are. My daughters are just tearing through them, which is of course fine with me. I mean, we went on a road trip. We were in the car for like 9 or 10 hours last week to go pick up the new mini horse and her baby, her little filly. And my daughter read almost the entire time in the car on the way there and home. She finished one book and got like a quarter of the way through another one. I cannot read in the car. But anyway, so she loves to read. By nature of being just a couple years younger than her oldest sister, she is a little more mature about certain things. It's just she's a little bit of a different 7th grader. I do think that she'll be able to handle these, and based on the discussions that we have, the topics that we talk about and go over, I don't think that any of these things are going to be too terribly shocking to her, some of the things in the books. I think we'll be okay, is my point. But that's why I haven't gone ahead and picked all 4 books, because if I need to back down a little bit, then I will. So the first 2 books that we're going to be doing are To Kill a Mockingbird and Animal Farm by George Orwell. And then what I did was I went on to Teachers Pay Teachers, which y'all know is a site that I absolutely love and adore. And this particular creator on there, this particular teacher, has these literature units that go with the books, and I really liked everything I saw from her. So I went ahead and just printed one of these out so far. I have not done all of the organizing of everything to show you guys their notebooks for things and all of that. I'm just showing you curriculum right now. So this is her student. These will be their student workbooks, just kind of going over each of the chapters. And then it's basically like a book study for each of these books. And we are going to be doing these together because so many of the things that are discussed in some of these books they're a lot. It's a little intense. So I want to be a part of the conversation. I want to be a part of making sure they're understanding things and don't have any questions or aren't confused by what's happening. So we're going to start with To Kill a Mockingbird and Animal Farm. And then I also purchased the C.S. Lewis Signature Classics books because my plan is to do Mere Christianity. And then I'm just not sure. That's sort of my plan, is Mere Christianity, and I'm not really sure what the 4th one is going to be. So I think that those are part of what we're going to do for our literature studies. And then with writing, I do have various writing curriculums. I have Brave Writer. I do have some different writing things that we're going to potentially incorporate from that. Both of my daughters are currently working on writing a book. They're working on each their own separate book, and then they're actually working on writing a book together. So again, this is where the benefit of homeschooling comes in for a middle schooler, a 7th grader. Instead of sitting down and saying, I want you to do this exercise in writing, if she wants to go sit up in her bedroom on her laptop and write for 2 hours, and then we can use that, what's in her brain, to go over the different writing styles, writing concepts, even the grammar, punctuation stuff, talking about different things. But I really believe that once you start really loving to read and you read a ton, it helps you understand writing even more, because you now know what a good story sounds like, you know what good sentence structure sounds like, you get an idea for how paragraphs are formed, and like all of that kind of stuff comes very second nature when you read a lot. So I'm going to kind of play off of that. I'll keep you guys updated if we end up adding in like a formal writing curriculum, but for right now, I want to ease back and lean into the things that she's already naturally inclined to do. And we may in the future look for some outside writing classes and stuff, just so they can get that critique from someone else other than me. But for right now, I love seeing their creativity come out in writing their own books and their own stories, and we're just going to kind of lean into that and keep rolling with that. For science this year, like I mentioned, we are no longer doing the good and the beautiful units like as a family. So what she's actually going to be doing this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think she's really going to enjoy it. And again, one of the things that I want to work on as my kids get older and more into high school is the autonomy of doing certain things on your own, certain lessons and stuff, but also doing some distance learning, online learning type things, making sure that they understand that, you log into portals and this is how this works online, and then they grade it, and making sure that, we're not sending them to, as much as I love pencil and paper and books and I love it so much, when they go to college and everything is on the computer, I want to make sure that they don't get there and they're like, now wait a minute, how's this whole portal thing work? I log in and I submit lessons and I do what, I want them to know how all that works. So she's going to be doing Shorman science this year. And I don't obviously have the science itself to show you since it is an online class. I'm second guessing myself because for some reason I thought that the student book that goes with that came in a physical format. It might just be a digital download. Again, I say I have not prepared all of the curriculum and gotten everything sorted and organized, so that's why this is a little bit of a mishmash, but I just wanted to share the actual curriculum with you. But this is the lab set that goes with the earth science curriculum. It is a big box. I'll be honest, I considered not getting it because you can just watch the instructor do the experiment and not and sort of watch them and do it virtually without the actual equipment. But again, it's very character building to do these experiments. And I also, a friend of mine here on YouTube had done this curriculum, and she did not purchase the lab experiment kit, I believe, the first year that she did one of the Shorman sciences. And she said that she kind of regretted it, and so she did purchase it for the next year that she was doing it. So that kind of was okay, it's expensive, but hopefully it will be worth it. So this is the experiment set that goes with the earth science from Shorman. So she's going to be doing the Shorman earth science online. Again, I will be sharing our family subjects, the things that we're kind of all going to be doing together, which isn't a ton, but I will be sharing that in a future video. But for her history this year, this was something that I let her choose. We decided this year that we wanted to try not grass history, not because we didn't like the good and the beautiful or that it wasn't working for us, but with, again, the change of guard around here and the change of grades and all of that, and Kennedy needing to do something sort of on her own, something different for high school, I just decided that I would let Shelby pick. There's 2 history curriculums through Not Grass that were at her grade level. And I just let her watch the videos and read about them and pick. And so she decided she wanted to do Uncle Sam and You for this year. And so this is basically sort of like a civics class. It's teaching you more in depth about the government in the U.S. and how it works. Whenever I talk about history curriculums, particularly as it pertains to homeschooling, I get lots of questions about how do I deal with factual inaccuracies in history curriculums and them not teaching the full scope of the truth of some things. Again, this is something that every family has to decide how they want to deal with that for themselves. For us, it looks like we have lots of frank conversations. When things come up in curriculums that make my little bell go, that's not right, depending on what it is, we will either skip the lesson entirely, we will talk about it and say why that's actually not the full picture of that thing, and then we will really talk about all different things from all different angles. For example, we did a little mini unit on Independence Day, and there were so many good thought-provoking questions in there about understanding different sides of that. And what do you think that these people were thinking? And how do you think that they felt? And how do you think you would feel if this was happening or that was happening? If you had done this and then these people were treating you this way? Like, there were so many good thought-provoking questions, and that is what I am looking for with my kids, is an opportunity to talk to them, to teach them how to think for themselves, and to teach them how to question things and not feel like just because they read something in a book that makes it 100% true. That's all I'll say about that. I don't want to get on a soapbox. But let me show you. So this comes with Uncle Sam and You Part 1, Uncle Sam and You Part 2. It also comes with the Citizen's Handbook, Civics in Action. So this book is a fascinating collection, features letters, official documents, speeches, songs, poems, stories, memoirs, and articles. All the action, give and take, opinions, plans, and memories in these pages represent our government at work in everyday life. These readings will help you to have greater respect and appreciation for the people that make our system of government work and for the key role you play in the life of the United States of America. So we get to talk about all about our government and what they're supposed to be doing and what they're not doing, and all the ways in which they are failing us and not upholding their end of the bargain. We get to talk about government, all the things, the good, the bad, all of it. Uncle Sam and You Student Workbook is in here as well. Pretty simple, straightforward. It's the student workbook that goes with each thing, all the different lessons, the little activities, and then there's also a lesson review book. So this would be like questions from the lesson, making sure that they understood what they read, reading comprehension. If you've got a kid that just sort of grazes things and you want to know, did they actually get that? Are they paying attention and all of that? You've got these lesson reviews. And then you've also got this book pack. So this is why I showed you those literature units, but then she's also going to be reading these books that go with her Not Grass history. Oh, I should also mention, in case as a parent you're concerned, there is an answer key for you. So the books that go along with this curriculum that she'll be reading and utilizing, there's different ways that you can purchase this curriculum if you just want the student books and the workbooks, and you want to check these out from the library or whatever, you can do that. I just chose to do the bundle. So this is Lincoln, a photo biography, Lost on a Mountain in Maine, Misty of Chincoteague, I'm probably butchering that, Basher 5-2, true story of an F-16 fighter pilot, Captain Scott O'Grady, A Letter to Mrs. Roosevelt, Bridie of the Grand Canyon, it's a donkey, looks like a donkey, maybe that's a mule, I can't really tell, donkey, mule, one of the two, The Long Winter by Laura Ingalls Wilder, and then The Wright Brothers, How They Invented the Airplane. So those are all of the books that go along with her history curriculum. Okay, so that should cover where we are starting off for 7th grade curriculum choices. If we need to make changes, if we need to remove some things, add some things, I'm totally flexible to do that. I will again be sharing some of our family subjects, some of the things we'll be doing more all together in a different video, but this is her specific curriculum choices for this school year. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to enter today's Back to School Week giveaway. All the details will be down below in the description box. I will link everything that I can link for you, and I will see you again back here tomorrow for another Back to School Week video.
Well, I don't mind to slow down anymore. Don't mind the sound of my shoes on your floor. I don't mind selling out or playing